Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 3. In the upper left-hand corner, we have Spetznas84 playing as the French. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have Yara playing as Ukraine on 3.5 woods. Let's go to the production tab. Yara with about a quarter of a second lead in building of his barracks. Plops it down first and now turns that into a full half-second lead in production of his refinery. Yara coming out with a line of troops towards the center of the map. And Spetznas84 sending out a scout rifleman as well as a small contingent not moving up very far. Yara is really committing to the early game. Spetznas84 comes out with an engineer first, but that's a lot of riflemen from Yara. Let's see if Spetz can make something happen here, but I've got a bad feeling about his army positioning. They're really opening up that flank. Here comes the infantry of Yara, looking for that engineer. Finds him. So that is a very devastating blow, to lose $500 worth of engineer right off the bat like that. Spetznas84 pushes into a static position and gets completely obliterated from the field. He's down to $100 worth of troops on the field. That's just this guy right here. And now he's down to 0. How unfortunate. Spetznas84 going War Factory first. And Yara going with the classic double ref. Yara pursuing a scorched earth policy and destroying both of the oil derricks on Spetz's side of the map. Spetz comes out with a ranger. Not in time to save that oil derrick. Good kiting from the ranger. Yara ahead in income. That's what the double ref will get you early in the game. Spetznas84 ecoing up. And a tight infantry formation from Yara chasing off that ranger. Spetz is going to have to wait until he gets his service depot on the field. 26.2 actions per minute from Yara, 18.7 from Spetznas. Yara out with a flak truck and rocket soldiers. Spetznas84 building another war factory. I don't know if I agree with that. That's a lot of money to invest early in the game. 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. And usually what you'd want to be doing is what Yara is doing right now with... he's got one war factory and he's got a service depot being built. So Spetz is going to be going double war factory before he has a service depot on the field, which means he won't be able to produce tanks. It's a very interesting strategy. Some comments from the peanut gallery. Spetznas out with another ranger. Wants to keep an eye on with another ranger. Spetznas going for a rather late ranger danger at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Yara is going to be coming out with his first expansion MCV in 15 seconds. So I've got a bad feeling. Oh, Spetz loses another ranger. Yara in the lead, army value-wise, also in the lead with income. Both players on 5 harvesters, but Yara controlling all 3 of the derricks that remain on the field. 31 actions per minute for Yara. Yara coming out with his first expansion. Looks like it's going to be an eco expansion by the way he has queued up his refinery. Spetznas looking for a flank comes out with his first expansion at 5 minutes and 12 seconds. And I like that position that Yara just took. That's right between two ore patches. It's basically a double expansion. Spetznas84 scopes out the location and remains static. Spetznas coming out with heavy armor onto the field, the first one to do so. Yara not far behind. Heavy tanks about to take the front of the line. And Yara has big field control right now. He's got forces all over the field. He's got a forward rally point here. Forward barracks, rather. And an engineer in the back lines. We'll see if this can do anything. Spetz has got that ranger back at his base. Yeah, and that's a good point somebody just pointed out. That ore refinery, that placement is really bad, honestly. 2 cells away. 1, 2. He could have gotten it a lot closer. First battle event of the game. Yara taking a static position with tanks in the lead. Spetz has got no answer for this. Yara moving out his main MCV northward, about to take his 3rd expansion. Spetz tries to hold the line, but that's a massive force coming in and going to absolutely decimate his expansion. There's 1 harvester down. There's 2. There's 3. Spetznas84 down to 5 harvesters, and that MCV is in dire straits. Not going to make it out. Oh, chooses not to pursue. That's very interesting. Yara's MCV is in grave danger, but that is a massive force from Yara coming in. Spetznas trying to hold the position. Doesn't have any defensive structures queued up, and he is totally stalled for cash right now. That engineer getting taken out at some point. There goes Yara's. Spetz calling good game at 7 minutes 58 seconds. 206 to 37. Let's take a quick look at the eco graph. Both players about even. Yara just gets control of all the oil derricks and pulls ahead. Army graph, again, Yara with big field presence at the beginning makes it work, snipes Spetz's engineer, and then proceeds to just keep cranking out troops and not really going too heavy on the tanks. I really got to say that there were a few errors made by Spetz. First of all, building the second war factor, I don't really understand that. That's $2,000 just in structure that's not really going to do you any good. Also, placing his refinery 2 squares away. The army remaining static. He could have moved in and possibly taken out that service depot of Yara. So, on to game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 3. In the upper right-hand corner, we have Spetznas84 playing as Britain, and in the lower left-hand corner, we have Yara playing as Ukraine. Let's go to the production tab. Yara with a near full second lead over production of his barracks. Again, with a full second lead in production of his refinery on the map. Dual Cold Front, I believe, is the name, and no structures to capture. This is all about army positioning. Yara taking up scouting positions around the field, wants to know what Spetz is up to, And he sees that conga line moving in. Does he? No, he does not. But he knows that something's down there. He just doesn't know how many troops are down there. $800 worth of troops comes out right off the bat for Spetznas. Yara going War Factory first on this small map. I agree with that. Really, either strategy can work because it's a small map. If you get troops out on, if you get vehicles out on the field, you're going to totally negate the enemy's troop presence if they don't have rocket soldiers. But Spetznas84 coming out with 2 rockets, 3 rockets, 4 rockets at 1 minute and 46 seconds. This is going to hurt his eco. He's got 2 harvesters on the field, going double ref and pulling up his MCV. We've got a base push. Yara with eyes on the field and ecoing, not building a offensive unit. An offensive vehicle, that is. Pulls back. I don't agree with that. He could have taken that. Spetznas84 pulls back away from Yara's flame tower. Despite having so many rocket soldiers, he really could have taken that position and taken out Yara's barracks. Spetznas84 wasting a little bit of time with that deployment of the MCV. Undeploys it, moves it. Yara pulls his harvesters, finding crushes. And this really sets Yara back. Loses all his power plants. Totally dead power. 1 minute and 15 seconds until... a minute... Okay, so Yara changes his build order. He's coming out with a standard power plant. He's got to rebuild 2 of them in order to get away from his power deficit that he's in right now. Well, actually, no, he only needs 1. But he's got to build 2 if he wants to continue building structures. Spetznas84, 40 seconds until his War Factory comes out. Spetznas84 distributing his forces and staying within range of that flame tower. And honestly, Spetz really had a shot there. He really had a shot. He could have taken that flame tower, could have taken out the barracks, but he is splitting up his troops in such a way that they're just not... he's really not getting bang for the buck, you know. Unfortunate to see. We're at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Neither player with armor on the field yet. Neither player with a service depot in queue. Spetznas is going to be coming out with a ranger. That's not going to do him a whole lot of good right now, honestly. I know I'm being critical, but I really wanted to see somebody take down Yara. He is such a good player. Spetz had a great shot at the beginning of this match, and you know, it's basically slipped away at this point. I hate to say that. Spetznas84 with double the army value, but that's all from the ranger. Yara moving in, conga line. Both players on 3 harvesters. Yara, 44 or 45 actions per minute. Spetznas trying to find a flank somewhere. Goes for the power plant again. And gets within range with that rifleman. A ranger out from Spetznas and a Tesla coil in the works from Yara. That is going to be really important. He's going to be able to deny that entire ore patch and fire upon that pillbox too. Deploys it at the front. Very interesting. Yara, 9 seconds until the service depot comes out. Yara pushes into a pillbox. Loses 4 out of that 5 stack. Spetznas looking for a flank. Takes a static position and trades well, despite line of sight disadvantage. Now hopefully he holds here. Oof. Line of sight provided by the miner allowed Yara's infantry just to absolutely decimate Spetznas. Spetznas undeploys again. The third undeploy of his MCV in this game. Spetznas no longer with build radius. And Yara, moving towards the center of the field, probably wants to know what's going on at Spetz's original base location. Spetznas ahead in income, but possibly not for long. His main base is totally unguarded. Light tanks out for Spetznas. He's going to try to counter this flak truck, but that's not all that's there. Yara's got rocket troopers in the mix, and they're going to make quick work of that light armor. Yara. No, sorry. Spetznas pulling his harvesters and the 4th undeployment of his main MCV in this game. Yara still not coming out with heavy armor yet. Feels that he doesn't need to. And Yara is actually backed into a bit of a position here because he's got his expansion out. He's ready to do his first expansion, but he's really behind in income. He has line of sight advantage. Spetznas tries pushing into it, not trading well at all. Gets driven back. And this small contingent from Yara is trying to outrun the light tanks and rangers. Spetznas with 2 idle harvesters. So really you could say it's 5 harvesters to 5 harvesters. Heavy armor hits the field. Yara. Yara tries pushing, but that is a lot of pillboxes. I don't think he's going to get through there unless he takes a flak truck, pokes out that infantry, and then comes in with a heavy tank. Yara looking for a flank. And Spetznas looking for Yara's first expansion, finds it. Ooh. That is... There was only 1 rocket trooper in there. And as the Spectator pointed out, that was a move command right into that flame tower. Unfortunate. Another heavy tank hits the field. Let's see what Yara does with this one. 10 minutes and 13 seconds. The battle rages on. Spetznas still with an army value advantage. Both players about even in income. Yara is completely strapped for cash. But he is taking better positions on the field. Converging his forces, driving Spetznas back. 2 heavy tanks, and Spetznas still does not have a service depot. Wait, yes he does. There it is. pop and drop from Yara. He's moving around the field with his expansion MCV. All he's got to do is continue to eco up, and it's absolutely inevitable at this point. Another eco expansion on the way from Yara. Spetznas moving his main MCV back to its original location, and an idle army in the south. Yara with a combination of troops and tanks, but the tanks not leading the way, giving Spetznas a line of sight advantage. Despite going against a much larger force, and those heavy tanks are going to chase down that MCV. Spetznas out with his first expansion MCV. Saves his main MCV. And another pop and drop from Yara. Yara about to deploy his second service depot. A big army value advantage from Yara at this point. Nearly double the value of Spetznas. He's got the heavy tanks in position on the pillboxes now. Yara with total access to Spetz's base at this point. And a total of 5, now 4 heavy tanks in that formation. No rocket troopers to answer. Good game from Spetznas at 1254. 451 to 202. Let's go to the eco graph. Spetznas with an early advantage going double ref, and you know, he really almost had him with that base push, but just a little bit of a I don't know what you could call that. He moved his MCV down to here, moved it over here, deployed it, undeployed it, moved it back over here. If he had gone here, right, built that line like he did with the pillboxes, that was good. But he needed to get a force in and around the base. And where Spetz really went wrong is he just kept choosing some bad battles. You know, not pressing his advantage against this flame tower, which is still at 50% health. And instead pulling back, losing more troops than that, rather than just pushing through and destroying the barracks. So anyway, both games going to Yara. Red Alert Global League, Season 9, Minions, Round 3.
Battle control terminated.